Hello fuckers, Archibald Chesterfield III here, AC3. AC3 fuckers, and today I'm giving advice. Advice for my younger 18-year-old self. What advice would I give my 18-year-old self? Now, some health advice. Always buy quality orange juice. Always buy quality fucking orange juice. That's very important, fuckaroonies. Very fucking important indeed. Indeed, fuckers. Indeed. The next bit of advice is always keep a supply of reasonably priced Chardonnay in your fridge. You never know when you might need that to lubricate a bitch's morals. Next bit of advice is always keep a good sake on hand. That's right, fuckers, keep a good sake on hand. Another great piece of advice is don't buy too many salty caramel. Don't buy too much ice cream when it's on discount because that shit is fattening. Let me give you the drum. That shit is fattening. That shit is very fattening and highly. The other bit of advice is do not keep a dessert spoon in your freezer. It's not a cool idea to do that. It's bad. But fuckers, talking more seriously, what advice can I give you? What advice can I give the young fuckers out there? And I gotta tell you, if I was 18 again, and I mean, I was 18, 1990. For myself, 1990 to now in Australia, house prices when I was 18, 100,000 for a decent lower middle class home. Now, $500,000. The price of automobiles in Australia has actually remained the same. So you're getting a lot more bang per buck. A lot more bang per buck now. They're a lot cheaper relative to wages. What advice would I give to a younger self? And I'll tell you some serious advice. You're better off to buy quality. And what I mean by that is, you want a wristwatch? Don't just buy a Raymond wheel, a shitter. Don't buy a shitter. Buy a quality watch. You want a Rolex? Get a Rolex. Okay? I'd say, honestly, buy a fucking Rolex. Everyone needs one Rolex. Steel sports. And preferably buy it used on the used market. The Explorer 2 is a great bang per buck. But you don't need 10 of them. One is fine. I'd also give the advice, have a few quality things. You have a nice pen. You can have a nice, well, people don't use pens now. But be careful with your coin because every dollar you invest as an 18-year-old is like investing $10 when you're a 40-year-old. Okay, because you've got that time for that money to grow. So I would really look at putting some money away into. I mean, I love the share market, blue chip stocks. I like that. But some people don't like that. The biggest wealth hazard is a vindictive, nasty bitch. The biggest wealth hazard is a vindictive, nasty bitch. Now, if you find someone who's right, okay, you think it's right. But she's got to answer the criteria. Number one, will she fuck every night? Number two, does she have a reasonable job? And ideal professions are teaching, nursing. And I'd even go as far as to say, you know, it's better to be a nurse than a lawyer. Because a lawyer, you're not really paid on an hourly basis. You got to put a lot of free time in. With nursing, you get paid for every hour you work. So, very important. The career of the girl you stay with, whether it's marriage or just a de facto, is very, very important. Personally, you shouldn't even be contemplating marriage until you're in your mid to late 40s. What other advice would I give you? You gotta have some investments that no one knows about. You don't need your family knowing about it, then they hit you up for loans. You don't need your friends knowing about it, and they hit you up. You need to put money away. Now, you got to have some fun. Life is a balance. I mean, you could be a penny pinching fucker, and then when you're 60, you've got $2 or $3 million. That's not really fun. But then again, you could be a spendthrift, and throughout your whole life, you've earned really good money, but you have nothing to show for it. That's also not a good life. You need a balance. A balance. And sometimes it's nice to buy one good thing a year for yourself. But you've also, whatever money you put into a nice thing for yourself, you've got to make sure you invest a bit as well, because that's what's going to make you really rich and comfortable. As an 18-year-old, you've got to be thinking. Hey, when I'm 40, do I want to be working for myself or the boss man? You got to be gearing up so that when you're in your 40s, you're either a high-level executive or you're working for yourself, because companies want young, ambitious people. They don't want old fuckers who have stayed in their ways. They want people they can use and abuse, pump and dump. That's what corporates want. So you got to prepare yourself for this. So, yes, you need a job, but you need to establish some investments. And different countries have different things. In America, the housing market is so much cheaper than in Australia. Cars are cheaper, but you fuckers don't have any health insurance. It's all gotta be paid for, whereas we get free health, we get, even our university, we basically get a free loan from the government, and then the money we pay for our tuition is actually a hell of a lot. It's about 10% of the actual cost. We get a pretty good deal in this communist socialist country, but our taxes are high because there ain't no free fucking rides. So my advice is, really, seriously, fuckers, you gotta have some nest eggs. And I honestly would say to an 18-year-old, 20-year-old, hey, get a good watch for yourself. But I would seriously say there, you gotta be careful. The biggest wealth hazard is a nasty, vicious bitch. And if you've had kids with her, you're fucked. You're really fucked. Maintenance, and you gotta pay the bitch. She'll get 70% of your asset. You get 30%. That's a bad deal. You gotta have some off-register money. Now, in my own case, the answer to happiness is off-register money. You gotta have your own secret stash. My advice really would be to not waste money. You gotta be clever. Don't waste money on restaurants and fancy clothes. You're better off to put money into some travel. Have some investments. My best advice to you is, I hate it, is have a budget. You need to budget money. You need to put 10% into investments. You need to pay your bills, and you need to have some money for holiday and real things that will reward you. The best things I can advise is travel. It's an investment in yourself. These fancy-pantsy university educations. Yes, they can help you get a good job. But if you want to work for yourself, all this bullshit doesn't really mean that much. It'll teach you some basics. It'll teach you quite a few things, but it's a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of bullshit. So, fuckers, what's my honest advice to you people out there? My advice is simple. My advice is simple. Fucking put some money away. You gotta save some money. Be very careful. You gotta save money. You have to save money. If you want to be well off, it's not about striking it rich. Well, that helps. It's putting money away over a long period of time. Number one rule to do well is put some money away. Put it into shares, put it into whatever you want to feel comfortable. Well, you better check out of these things, because some of these things, you don't want some insurance salesman to sell you some fucking policy and you're rooted in commissions and shit like that there, because those cunts will rip you one. You got to put, I put money into blue chip industrials. The next thing is you got to be so careful. So number one is, so the best advice for an 18-year-old is one, you got to save some money. You got to have some savings, investments. Number two, the bitch you marry has a huge impact on your happiness and how your life goes. If she doesn't work, she just spends, well, fuck me dead. She wants to stay home and eat cheezels on the sofa, you are fucked. She needs to work. This bitch needs to work. So the person you do eventually marry has a huge impact on your wealth. Thirdly, you need to live below your income. There's no point pretending fancy pantsy wancy. You gotta spend less. There's only two things that can happen. You can either earn more or spend less. There's no magic formula. The fourth thing is you gotta watch ArchieLuxury. You gotta watch this channel. This channel's got lifestyle advice. It's got every bit of advice. And finally, the fifth bit of advice is you need a secret stash of money. Because if you did get into a relationship, or even if you're single, you're an MGTOW, you don't want your family hitting you up. They're a bunch of cunts. So, the ArchieLuxury plan for success. Tell me what you fuckers think of that.